Hello, hello, hello. Oh, how are you, everyone? I'm very sorry again. I'm having a little bit of technical troubles going live once I've scheduled a video. So third time's a charm. I'll figure it out next week. Hope you're well. Thanks for joining. Sorry for the little delay, but let's get going. So this week what I thought we'd do, we've had some really interesting questions. I've actually had a lot of very interesting questions from people who have had a little bit of concerns around what they need to do with just the basics. I think I've had some good feedback on last week. So what I thought we'd do today is talk a little bit about basics, talk a little bit about what's in the news for retail today. So I'd like to focus on retail. So if you're not a retailer, perhaps this would give you a little bit of insight into customer engagement and what businesses need to do to engage the customer, because your customer expects you to act like their favorite store, their favorite business. So please don't think that, hey, I'm a lawyer, I'm an accountant, I'm a service provider, I don't need to really focus on retail, I don't need to do the same thing. You do. And hopefully this discussion will give you a little bit of insight. And that's the one thing I like to do around working with clients is I don't want you to think, okay, I'm a shoe seller, I'm going to act like a shoe seller, or I'm a you know, who else? I'm a podiatrist, I'm going to act like a podiatrist, or I'm a mechanic, I'm going to act like a mechanic. Have a look around what's working for other businesses and then apply that for yourself. So let's get into some of the basics I'd like to talk to you about today. One of them is, don't forget to help Google help you. So I've been seeing a lot of posters with events on them, and they all point to a Facebook page, or I've been seeing a lot of posts that we're doing a pop-up store, click on our website. You know, I'll be on Facebook and it'll say, click on our website to find the address. I'm not going to click on your website to find the address. I don't care how much I like you. That's just going to annoy the bejesus out of me. You need to tell me where it is. I'm here. I want to know the info. Don't make me click 27 times to go and engage with you. So if you're going to share some content, have a physical location, pay rent, pay electricity, then please, please, please tell me where you are. Google is the best way to do that. Go in and claim your Google place. So, so, so important. Again, if you're just a virtual business as well, you can do that. Google lets you do that. So go in, put an address, put a phone number, put an email address, put any way that I can contact you. Give that to me so I can find you. That's very, very important. The other thing is, on your social media pages, put your address. Sounds basic, right? I cannot tell you how many restaurants I have discovered in the last few weeks and retailers who do not put their address on. Now, I message those businesses and say, can I give you a tip? Adding your address would be a good idea. And I don't get one reply. I have not had one reply from about 15 or 16 messages. And that tells you a lot about businesses today. But I hope they do go in and do it. I don't go back and check for that business if I don't hear a reply back, because I'm not going to give my money to somebody who doesn't have any basic manners, let alone business ethics or etiquette. So I don't know what they're doing. But why be there? Why tell me about how great you are and then not tell me where you are? And I think that's the thing. You're really missing out if you don't put your address in Facebook, because Facebook gives your viewers, your visitors, a nice little map where you are. Click here and it finds you through maps. So really, really be conscious. That's so, so basic. And if you have a website on your on your website, go in and add your address and phone number to the header and footer. So no matter where I am in the page when I'm looking at your website, I can find you. And that sounds really basic, but again, too, you would be surprised. So when I'm looking at a website, say I'm trying to find somebody and they don't have a Google place. In Google, they don't have an address, so I actually can't go over and just click across. Then I think, okay, I'll go on their website. If your address is there, it's very good customer service. But if your address isn't there, it's just going to annoy me even more, because I've got to do 27 clicks while I'm in the car and I shouldn't be using my phone. And make it easy to connect and find you. That's just got to be the most basic of basics, right? The other thing too, and I shared a picture on my social pages this week around, if you're sharing content in social media, please give credit where credit is due. If you use somebody's content, please credit them. I just think that's good manners. The only reason I would say people are doing that then is if you want to pretend you created something you didn't, which shows that you're not very authentic or ethical. But why would you not give credit to saying, I share stuff all the time, right across all my accounts and my client accounts, because I think, oh, that's really cool, that relates. People on this page will like this content. I get a lot of DMs, direct messages from people saying, thanks for the share, Nancy, that was really great, which shows me that not a lot of people give them credit when they do share their content, because they wouldn't be so effusive when I do. So please do that. I've had a couple of people ask me what I meant by that post, so I hope that that clarifies. If you hit the share button on Facebook, then it will credit the person that you shared it to. If you download it to the picture or the content, if you copy it to your phone and then upload it as your own, that's not sharing or giving credit to them. I even go a little bit further where I like to do the @ and put the mention, but you don't have to do that. At least if you just give them credit, that would be great. Okay, so don't forget, tell me where you are when I'm looking through you online. So I wanted to go through a little bit of news in the retail world, which sort of talks to then the points that I wanted to talk about through for retailers and wholesalers. It'll give it some context. One big thing has been Max Brenner the last few weeks, around Max Brenner collapsing. And if you remember Max Brenner when they were new, and I do, and if you have their cacao in your cupboard, and I do, my brother has a hug cup, and I saw it the other day, and I was like, snap, we've got Max Brenner products. But it was a really, really cool, different place when they opened. You know, you could go in and you could get beautiful handmade chocolates. You can get some bulk products. You can get some hot chocolate. You've had drinking. You had eating. It was a cafe. It was divine. And you did really have that little, excuse me, you felt like you were Willy Wonka, right? I was Willy Wonka in the chocolate factory. And I think that's a really cool thing. But one thing that we didn't have, hello, Nathaniel. Nice to see you, Nate. One thing we didn't have in that time was that sort of an adventureland for adults. And as an adult, it was really cool, right? Because you could go in there and you could pretend that you were in the Willy Wonka chocolate factory. You were Charlie in the factory. And I think that was a great thing. It gave us some really great, hey, Paul. It really gave us some great, really cool space around where you could feel like a child as an adult and have some, you know, little luxuries and naughties, and it wasn't cheap. And that's the thing we've got to remember too. I remember a lot of people saying, oh, it's not cheap. It's like, it's really good quality. So don't forget that when Max Brenner opened, it was amazing and it was different. I recently went into a Max Brenner, probably beginning of this year, end of last year, recently, because we used to go into it all the time, and it was where we used to go and buy birthday presents, and and I remember thinking, it looks exactly the same, like nothing's different. The decor was the same, the staff were still amazing and friendly and very knowledgeable, but it was the same. And I think that's the thing, they didn't evolve. And that's what, you know, so many people, you know, when we shared it on social, very few people went, oh my God, I'm so shocked. So many people went, oh God, not surprised. How have they been around this long? And I think that's the thing, that when you think about Max Brenner, that magic and the surprise then turned to, oh, I'm so bored, why haven't they evolved? Because we are evolving creatures and we are living in a world where things change all the time. So they were going to have somebody buy them and then they didn't have somebody buy them. So who knows what's going to happen there. Then I thought I'd just share some news from Rag Trader. Really great source for retail and information. Roger David, 76 years, closing down. And again, I'd say it's the Max Brenner concept. I remember Roger David when I started in retail a few decades ago. And being in business for 76 years is a massive achievement. But I think when you are, menswear is it's an easy sell, menswear. I ran menswear in Grace Brothers in Parramatta many moons ago. Men need clothes. They come in, they do their basics, they leave. Like they're such a good customer. They're not very trend related. Those stores do cater for them. And I think Roger David could have really been a great staple in the same way that we look at a lot of the traditional menswear or a lot of traditional brands. Unfortunately, I think they had the same symptom where they didn't change. They haven't evolved. They haven't talked to a new customer. Again, manufacturing fashion is so hard for Australia because we've got to do it somewhere else and bring it here, and there's all those sort of challenges. So it's really sad to see, you know, 76-year-old business is a massive achievement. So watch that space. But again, if you don't evolve, you will perish, and it's your own risk. Great news, Kathmandu is going global. So it does, you know, it's not boo-hoo-hoo. I refuse to talk retail down. I refuse to do those. I've been asked to do some articles and some mentions and things on the radio around, retail's crap and it's going to the toilet and we'll have no shops eventually. I refuse to even have that discussion. What I want to do is offer solution and assistance. Looking at Kathmandu and they're going global is amazing for an Australian brand, and it just shows that when you know your customer and your niche and you get the manufacturing right and you know what you're doing, you're going to have a very, very successful business. So well done, Kathmandu. Aquila, now a beautiful brand, one that never disappoints. Every time I've gone in there to buy a gift or with a partner to buy some product, they've never walked out not finding anything. Aquila, beautiful Italian leather shoes, right? And they've got great stuff to match. And again, you've got to marry this, the whole, great retail is a great experience, great stuff, great product. They all go together. They've got their 60th birthday. Yay to them. So they've been around 60 years and they're definitely affordable luxury. When you put on a pair of their shoes, I don't know any man who's put on a pair of their shoes and not gone, oh my God, this is divine. How have I not worn these before, or put them on and gone, my favorite pair of shoes, I always feel like I'm wearing slippers. So they do good product. They're moving into menswear, a menswear range. Now, again, no brainer, so smart. And I think menswear for a men's shoe brand is such a good move because it shows that they are understanding their customer and they're integrating. While you've got your customer there, there's somebody who's buying a pair of shoes. Well, suit and shoes go together. They already sell belts and wallets. So again, to becoming a whole brand to a customer. And, I was doing some filing a few weeks ago and I found my checklist around trends, emerging trends for 2009, 2010. I did it for my talks at the trade fair and at Reed Trade Fair. And on there was around lifestyle being an emerging trend where people wanted to go into a store and not just buy one thing. I don't want to just come in and buy shoes. I want shoes and a belt, shoes and a belt and a suit. And this is definitely what Aquila are doing. Lifestyle brands are so much more successful and it takes so much work to get a customer to come into your shop. So why wouldn't you sell them more? How many shoes can one man buy? But they can buy belt and shoes. They can buy belt, shoes, suit. So well done to Aquila. And again, to menswear is a great category when you get it right. Another great brand doing menswear right and lifestyle integration, Runngun. Again, a really great store. Sometimes I like to go in there just to have a look and look at something that's really well executed. Runngun's a really great brand. They're investigating doing a bar, coffee, food concept within their store. So clever and so makes sense. Again, too, do I need to go and buy something every week? No, we are definitely serving a marketplace that wants to buy less, that has too much. And that's the thing we have to understand as retailers, as service providers. People don't want stuff and they see it as stuff. That's why Airbnb emerged. That's why Uber emerged. All the share economy is happening. This is why. So really understand this, folks. Share economy is happening because people don't want stuff. But if you sell stuff, what does that mean for you? It means you need to provide experience. So do I need to go into Runngun to buy product every week? Not really. But would I go in there to have a coffee or have a drink? Absolutely. And I think, that would be a great integration across the brand too, because it would mean I know the brand, I like the brand, I'd like their product. So again, really great integration, smart, and a great way to future-proof the business. Inside Retail had a really great post about Vinomofo. And if you don't know Vinomofo, go and have a look at their website. They do great wine. My partner he loves wine. I love wine too, but I'm abstaining for a little while. But he is a wine mad crazy man, and we buy from different sources, and he loves that site. He just loves that site too, for information, for integration. It's a really great site. They're turning their warehouse into an urban cellar door. Love that. Smart. Again, when I was a wholesaler, I had a store attached to my wholesale business because I wanted to provide people that one-on-one interaction. I wanted to clear product that I couldn't do through retailers. I wanted to test some product before I put it through wholesale. To me, it just makes perfect sense. Having that access to the customer only makes you a better wholesaler as well. Makes you a better business person. And it helps you do some stuff that you wouldn't do with some retailers who maybe are a little bit cautious, because retailers are too cautious at the moment and hard to sell to in certain new concept stuff. So Vinomofo, well done. Now, this brings me to another thing around this whole people saying, I'm going to shut down my store and I'm going to go online. Let me tell you, successful online retailers are all looking at having at least one store in a city, or they're all opening face-to-face retail, because that's where you engage. So Do not underestimate the fact that you have to have a physical presence and a touch point for your customer. Online can fulfill so many things, but to have that one-on-one with your customer is a gift. And you need to sort of really nurture that and work on that. So this takes me to this week's question. I've actually had a couple of questions, but I'm going to tackle this one and then we'll do a few more next week. And this is, how do I compete with online retail? How do I compete with online? And again, too, remember what I said to you in the beginning. Lawyers now are competing with online, because I can go on and I can Google a question and find a question. I can go into a Facebook group and ask a question. Somebody will give me a legal answer. And this is the thing that we need to understand, folks. Information, if you are an information source, it's not enough anymore. Bookkeepers, you know, there's software doing what bookkeepers do. We are all under attack? No. We are all under the mercy of the customer, who then goes online first before they come to that. Is that smart? Perhaps no. And I do think people train for a long time and they know things. I would never Google, for example, how to fix my car, how to service my car and do it myself. So I certainly wouldn't do it with a legal document. But that's what people do. And we can't forget that that's what people do. And so, you know, to be at the mercy of online, we all need to understand how to tackle online. So let's say this, how do I compete with online? And I think the one thing is, don't compete with it, integrate it. And understand what your customer is doing online. What is your customer doing online? Your customer's doing a few things. They're looking for information, they're comparing, and they're shopping. So if they're the three things that you do, then how do you do that in your physical location? And physical location, you've got them there. You know, I remember when online emerged and shipping was too hard and expensive. And I said to a few retailers, I was like, well, why don't you guys do click and collect? Why don't people buy it online and come and pick it up in the store? And they were like, what for? And I was like, because when they come into the store, you can sell them so much more. And this is the thing that we don't think about. When you're in the store, you can do the face-to-face. Did you see this? I haven't put it on the website yet. I only have 2 of these, so it's not on the website. Thanks for coming. Here's your little gift for coming in. Such an important touch point for that customer, to have that reason to come in, to have that physical interaction, relationship building. And that gives them another reason to, they still might ring you on the phone and say, hey, can you deliver this? But then you're their go-to person, their first person. So really understand that you need to act a little bit like the website. You need to be able to answer questions quickly. You need to go into there and really be a great source of information and solve problems. Don't go, oh, we don't ship to that area. You know, if somebody wants your product, sell it to them. So simple and basic. So integrate the website into your store. Talk to the customer about your website. Have you seen our website? We put this on. I've just created a really cool blog post, or we did a blog post about this product last week, or have you seen the video on YouTube, or whatever it is. Really show them that there is that integration. And then online, show me how great your physical store is. Online, show me why I need to come into who you are. That's not ideal. I don't know if, yeah, hello. I don't know if you can still hear me. I still have frozen. I'm going to keep talking until we catch up. Hello, hello, hello. I'm hoping I'm coming back on. Oh dear. Hello. Yeah, I think I'm back. Okay. Sorry about that, folks. Oh, gee, that was a bit weird. Hello. Okay, so give me that reason to come back into you. Give me that reason to online to see what you are like offline. And when I'm in your physical store, then show me what the tools you're giving me online are. Be that website. Now, let me give you a really good example of Sea Folly. They've just put into their physical stores the magic mirrors. And what they do is you're in the change room, you think, oh no, this is not my size. Because let's face it, swimsuit shopping, most people don't love it. But you have to do it right, because you can't go naked to the beach and you can't go just like this. So you're in the fitting room, you want a different size, different color, whatever it is. You actually put it on the magic mirror and you request it, and then somebody brings it to you. And you don't have to leave the fitting room to have different choice. It's no surprise that this is causing them to have more conversions per customer. So they're actually selling more. No surprise there. We've all left a store because it's all too hard to get different product. You're sick of trying things on. We've all left a store. And let me tell you, I don't need another pair of pants. I want another pair of pants. So you need to give me reasons to come into the store, and you need to keep me there and satisfy me in that way. So they've put these magic mirrors in and customers are converting. So simple. Now, if you don't have the magic mirrors and you've got a change room, then be the magic mirror, folks. When somebody goes into the fitting room, make it easy for them to call you for another size. Put a bell in there. Put something in there that I can buzz you. We used to do that in Grace Brothers. We used to have bells attached to the change rooms, and I never understood why they got rid of them, except for the fact they have no staff. And this is the thing, like, you don't have to have the tech to do it. Go, okay, what is the need that this tech is fulfilling, and how can I do it without the tech? So simple. The other thing is that tech is actually helping them with stock take, because every single item in that store has an RFID chip on it, which identifies where it is in the store and if it is still in the store. So they can count stock in a second. And if you've ever stock taked, you know that that's a gift. So really, really interesting. Copy the tech that online is offering. Copy the tech that successful businesses and stores are using. Create the experience is so important. If I come in and I see you and you're like, or worse, you're like this, I'm not going to come into you again. I'm not coming into, like, I literally walk out of stores when I see that. And I know a lot of people that do that as well. So don't ever do that. Create a space that I want to walk into and I want to come back to. And if you understand that, then you will execute it well. If you don't understand that, I truly say this with love and compassion. If you don't like customer service, you have no business being a retailer. Get another job. Because if you don't like it, it will show and you will not do well and you will waste everybody's time. You have to have that customer love. It's just a given. It's not even an option. So remember to really think about, how do I make my customer want to come back? And it is around creating loyalty, and it is around, sending them offers. But one thing I have to say to you, please, please, please do not discount. Do not discount. I can't say this enough. Don't discount. Give them a gift with purchase. I've seen a really great little store open up lately, and they've done a whole 10% off everything in store. What? It just shows that you don't know your pricing. It's just lazy. If you want me to come in, either change your prices across the board. I do think people need to really look at pricing in Australia. That's a whole different topic. But give me a gift with purchase. Incentivize me. Buy two and get a discount, or whatever it is. But don't give a blanket discount at the door. It's lazy and it's not good business. And you're training your customer to do two things. One, think that you don't get the pricing right, that you don't know the pricing. And two, to wait for a discount. Not smart at all. And the other thing too is, don't forget to work with your wholesalers, guys. If you are a retailer who has a really good wholesaler, or if you have a wholesaler that needs a little bit of help, by working together, you will make an amazing team, a very, very strong team. So please, please, please understand how important it is for you to really go in and work with your wholesalers. And back to wholesalers now. Work with your retailers. Identify a handful of great ones and really work with them, because they're your physical space. So I'm going to just jump over to wholesalers for a second. You need to be the brand. You need to be the brand that I want, that I seek in stores. Now, to do that, you also need to be a retailer. I worked for a wholesaler for a long time. I had a wholesale business, which I shut down. And I should have been the brand from the beginning. And I should have retailed it, done that, and then worked with retailers. I learned so much from not doing that, and it was when tech was emerging, 2004 to 2008. It was a very different time to now. But wholesalers, be the brand. Show me what the whole story looks like. Retailers will always cherry pick. They're very conservative. They've got less money to spend. They won't ever buy the brand, the whole range. You need to be your brand, or the brand that you're wholesaling. And then you can work with retailers to create a really great space. You can funnel traffic, web traffic and physical traffic to them. It's such an important topic, and we will be talking about this. I'm going to do a webinar for wholesalers and retailers, probably the end of next week, the week after. I'll work out the dates today and post those, because I think that that's one that we can really dig deep into. So I hope you've had some insight today around what businesses are doing, what's working, what's not working. The biggest thing is be elastic, learn to learn, keep your mind open, read things that aren't related to your industry. Knowledge is so, so powerful. And then be brave and experiment with some stuff. Don't change your whole business, but maybe change 10% of your business, or do something a little bit differently every day, because that will really help you. Have a great day, everybody. Thank you for joining me. If you're watching this later, thank you for watching this later. I really wish you a great week and happy business. Bye.